Okay, good evening, ladies. Appreciate your patience. Welcome to the YLOpNet. This is Catherine, AC4YL. Net control for this evening's net. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Echolink ALARA conference node. Be sure to invite all YLs you know to join us. We ask that only YLs or female ham radio operators check in and participate. The purpose of this net is to encourage you to become and stay active with amateur radio, help each other enhance our operating knowledge and skills, and have fun. During the net, be sure to join us in the NFARL drop-in chat room by opening any web browser and going to nfarl.dodropin.org. Just put your name-call sign in the box and click login. YLs who would like to check in, please give us your call sign, name, and current location. And don't forget that there is a 3 to 4 second delay when transmitting through Echolink. This is Catherine, AC4YL. We will now begin taking check-ins. Please call now.
This is Chrissy, KC8UFV, Toledo, Ohio.
Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Hotel Uniform, Carroll, Hamilton, Ontario.
Here in UK, the one mad Brit in the bunch. Hi.
Net control, this is Whiskey Alpha 4, Yankee Lima, Dawn in Florida. Hello everyone on the net. Great to see Catherine and Melanie and Jill at the Ham Fest, and had a great time. Back to net control.
This is Whiskey 3 Lima Echo Oscar Leah, Oklahoma, for check-in only.
KW1YL, Brenda, New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay, very good. We'll start with those check-ins. So far we have Linda, KC8PKY. I didn't get any audio on Linda, but Linda, I did see you key up and then unkey and then key up again, so probably not an issue on your end, probably just Echolink acting weird. You're probably fine, so. But I did see you and we have you in the log, so welcome to the net. Chrissy, KC8UFV, long time no see. Checking in from Ohio this evening. Great to have you back. Carol, VA3WHU, joining us from Ontario this evening. And Jenny, M0HZT, joining us this morning in the UK. Good morning, Jenny. Dawn, WA4YL, checking in from Florida. Leah, W3LEO, joining us from Oklahoma. Good evening, Leah. And Brenda, KW1YL, checking in from Connecticut. All right. Take care, Leah. Thanks for checking in. We're glad to have you pop in here and at least say hello. So I understand you are getting ready for your Veterans Day parade and some other things going on. So, all right. Take care. We'll catch you next time. And let's see who else we have. We've had some other YLs pop in here. So if you'd like to check in, please call now, AC4YL.
Victor Echo 3, Bravo Hotel Golf, April from Welland, Ontario, Canada.
KB4RM, Rosemarie, Texas, having dinner, will listen.
All right, very good. So we also have joining us April, VE3BHG, joining us from Ontario. Glad to see you back here, April. And Rosemary, KB4RM, enjoying her dinner in Texas. So thanks for having us in the background there, Rosemary, and thanks for checking in. Hope you're having a nice dinner there. Okay, Melanie's here as well. She's got a cold, so probably won't hear too much from her. Nothing like those summer colds, right? So I see Nisi in here, but I don't know if she had to step away or doesn't have her mic hooked up or whatnot. But I do see Nisi in the list here, K-A-1-U-L-N, and maybe she'll pop in and talk to us when she is free. So we do have her in the log. And let's see, I see Lauren is in, probably for recording purposes. Lauren, if you're out there listening as well, KC9ZHV out there in Illinois, good evening to you. And, of course, we've got the Bedford, Virginia repeater, K4LYL, linked in this evening. So if there are any YLs out there listening, good evening to you, OMs as well. But want to give a shout out to the YLs out there. If you would like to check into this net, you are welcome to do so when we call for check-in. So don't be shy. Just come on in. You just check in just like all these other ladies here are doing. And as you can see, we're from all over the U.S. and outside too, from Canada and the UK. And sometimes we get an additional treat and get some folks from Australia from time to time and Japan. So we're glad to have everybody here that can come in. So we're glad to have you all with us. Okay, I think I've got everybody that I can see in the list here. So we've got a nice group this evening. So we're glad to have you here. And we've had a lot going on over the last week. So, of course, this past weekend, as Dawn already mentioned, was the Huntsville Hamfest. So we'll talk a little bit about it. Dawn, did you want to tell everybody about your Huntsville Hamfest experience? Please go ahead if you like. WA4YL, AC4YL in the group.
This is WA4YL, Dawn. Had a great time in Huntsville. I enjoyed seeing Melanie and Catherine and Jill and Joe and Tom Metland and Kathy and everybody at the Huntsville Hamfest. And I got myself a new antenna tuner and a new antenna to replace the one that broke for my car. And the best thing that happened was at the end of the Hamfest, at the last drawing, my man proposed to me, my Chris. So we are officially engaged. Back to you, Catherine.
All right, very good, Dawn. Well, congratulations, and that was exciting, and you got some cool stuff, all kinds of cool stuff at the Hamfest, and I know Melanie and I had a blast hanging out with you, and it's always fun to get to see you, and I think, your first time up here in Huntsville, so it was glad to have you up here with us, and I'm glad we got to hang out for a while. Lots of fun, and congratulations. And got yourself a tuner and some other cool stuff. And, hey, real quick before I forget, do you remember Jill's call, Dawn, off the top of your head?
I believe it was KC8 QDA. I'm not too sure, don't quote me.
Okay, cool, Dawn. Well, no worries. I'll try and look it up. I think Melanie wanted to send her an email. So, cool. And we've got Ann, W1AYL. Looks like she's conferenced in through my connection, so good evening, Ann in Massachusetts, W1AYL. We're glad to have you here with us as well. So, nice group. And we're just catching up, talking about the Huntsville Ham Fest. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I've got some pictures I just saved over from my phone to my Dropbox. So I'm going to try and get those uploaded to the WildOpNet Facebook group this weekend. So get that up there so that you guys can see those photos. I was hoping to get that done today, but I didn't have time with work and everything else going on, so didn't get a chance to do that before the net this evening. But be on the lookout. I'll get some photos up there. And Dawn, if you got some good photos that you want to post from the Ham Fest, please feel free to post those up on the WildOpNet Facebook group too. So, all right, very good. So Dawn got some cool stuff, and we got to hang out with her. And Melanie and I were able to go to the to Joe Eisenberg's forum on kit building, and he had some great tips, which were kind of great, considering we've been having some discussions here on the net about kit building, and some good tips Joe shared. And I think Chris, Dawn's Chris, AA4CB, I think he did a video recording of that, so I'm going to see if I can share that post that he had on Facebook so that you guys can check it out if you have interest in kit building. Some great tips and places that you can get kits and different tools you might need, and just some good down-to-earth information from Joe as always. And he's hoping to do a live kit build in Huntsville next year. He's trying to work that out, so I'm really hoping it works out because it would be a whole lot of fun. So got to do that and got to see our friends over at JMR, Loretta and Hurl and Ronald, so we got to hang out with them. That was a lot of fun. And oh yeah, Joe's call, K0NEB, for those of you that may know him. Let me pause for reset. Okay, yes, so Joe, K0NEB, you've probably seen pictures of him with his cat and hat going on there. He's also the official, one of the official photographers for Hamvention, and so you've probably seen him wandering around there taking photos, and he's one of the editors on the kit building portion of CQ Magazine. So he stays busy in addition to his day job. So anyway, so we had a lot of fun hanging out and attending his kit build forum and seeing Loretta and Harold and Ronald, and hanging out with Dawn and Chris and Peggy and Harold and Rich, and it was a lot of fun. And also, as a side note, ended up buying 2 radios, so it was a lot of fun. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully the train's about gone by here. I'm outside here on the back porch, and can hear the train horns pretty well out here. So anyway, so a lot of fun over there at the Huntsville Ham Fest. It was another great year, and as I mentioned before, got a couple of radios. Picked up a Kenwood TM B71A 2-meter 440. Actually, it was a radio that Joe happened to win, and was kind enough to let us buy it from him. So that was awesome. So got that, and also picked up a Kenwood PS480 SAT. So looking forward to playing with that one. That's the mobile rig, just came in. Actually, I bought it on Saturday, and it shipped on Monday and was delivered on Tuesday. So it got here quick, and so really, really excited. Got a really good deal on that rig. So looking forward to having a lot of fun getting that set up for mobile. So the next project that Melanie and I are going to be working on is putting together a portable battery. So we're going to take one of those LiFePro 4 batteries and building our own from, trying to think of the guy's name now, it escapes me. He's from, oh man, my brain is not working. We've talked about him before. I'll try and find his call sign, or he tells us, does stuff out in the field and does projects and does portable, and it's a lot of cool stuff there. And yes, Huntsville, Alabama there, April, to clarify. Okay, with that, I think I've done enough talking, so let's just go down the list here based on the check-ins, and we'll see what you gals have been up to. So we're going to just go in order of how you checked in and pass the mic over to you, and you can tell us what you've been up to and how things have been going and any cool things you've been doing either in ham radio or outside of it. What's been going on with you? Let's start with Linda, KC8PKY. Please go ahead from AC4YL on the net.
Okay, this is KC8PKY. Well, the big news is we fixed our beam. On Saturday, we had some of the guys from the club come over. We lowered the tower down, replaced the center section, and I got on last night with Ann's meetup, and I made the connection, and while we were waiting to get to that, we worked the Azor, so it's working pretty well. And this weekend we're going to the Society of Midwest Contesters. They have a thing going on Saturday, so we're going to go to that and learn some more about contesting. And non-ham related, it's been an interesting week because we spent 4 days having to go out and shower in our travel trailer because our water heater went bad, but we got that fixed. So all things considered, it's been pretty good. And with that, I will turn it back before I time it out.
All right, very good, Linda. Sounds like an adventure. Sounds like a nice adventure going on your way. So congratulations on getting the beam all done and set up and finished up. That is awesome, and I'm sure you guys are happy about that, getting that up and going. And I don't think it's too much fun having to go take a shower in your travel trailer, but hey, at least you can take one somewhere, right? And hopefully your hot water heater issues are all squared away and taken care of. And if not, hopefully soon. So awesome. Well, good to hear from you, Linda, and sounds like y'all have been keeping busy. And let's see, next up is Chrissy. Chrissy, we hadn't heard from you in a while. KC8UFV, what's been going on with you? What's new? And what ham radio activities have you been in? And non-ham radio, for that matter. Catch us up. KC8UFV, AC4YL on the net.
Well, I've just, in general, been busy with a few events locally going on outside of ham radio. Pipe bands have kept me busy. With the wrap-up of it, but at least that season is over, so that lets me get a little bit more ham radio time in. Now, last week was our local club's Amateur of the Year Committee meeting, and so we could pick the winners for this year to be revealed at our club's general meeting next month. And I don't know if you hear the air compressor, I'm busy working on putting more projects together. These are some Bluetooth adapters that I sold online. I've got a kit to put together tonight. This Sunday I'll be helping out with the Ohio QSO party I'll be at the Toledo Mobile Radio Association site, and we'll be operating out of Maumee, Ohio. So if you guys want to listen for that on Saturday, local time is from noon to midnight. KC8UFV, back to that.
All right, very cool, Christy. Well, that's awesome. That sounds like you've been busy, but it's good to hear from you, and we're glad to have you check in tonight and catch us up and let us know how you're doing. And sounds like you're doing well and just staying busy. That's awesome. And hopefully we'll be able to have you on the net more often. You get a little more time on your hands there. Carol, BA3WHU, how are you, and what's going on, and what's new? BA3WHU, AC4YL on the net.
Yes, good evening all. WA Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Hotel Uniform Carol here in Hamilton, Ontario. Still off work due to the medical condition, non-ham related. I'm seeing a physiotherapist 2 days a week now to regain my balance and get my coordination back. Other than that, doing well. There is a Junk in the Trunk this weekend in Newmarket, which is quite a drive from here. It's the other side of Toronto. Not sure if we'll be going to it. I haven't heard from our co-mate here, Victor Alpha 3 Tango United Radio, Ahmed. He's the gentleman that usually goes on these excursions with my OM and I, so not sure if we'll be heading out to that one this weekend. We'll have to see how things go. The weather's not supposed to be that great on Saturday either. Weather here has cooled down, very nice in the 20s. which is in the 60s for 60, 67, 68 for anybody in America. We still deal with Celsius here. Well, at least I do. My husband deals with Fahrenheit, but I'm comfortable with the Celsius. Other than that, everything's good. Trying to learn Morse code while I've been off work. My friend from the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club has lent me a Morse key to get started, so that's what I've been trying to do in my spare time. So if anybody's got any good free, I think I've asked this question before probably, Morse code apps that will help me along. I did download Morset from the App Store, and that one's sponsored by ICOM, and it's a great app. If you have anybody out there that would like to learn the Morse code, that Morset is a very good program. So that's my my take on things for the month of August, which is going by very fast. We'll head back to the group, and thank you very much, and lovely listening in, and take care. Carol, back to the group.
All right, very good, Carol. Well, we're really glad to have you with us, and it's good to hear from you, and glad you're taking care of yourself there and getting your health back in order there, and we hope things continue to move in a positive direction for you, and it's always a pleasure to hear from you and have you here on net as well. So glad to hear from you, Carol. Ann, WB1ARU, has joined us. Good evening to you, Ann, and no worries about being late. We're just glad to have you here, so no problem. So let's also check in with Jenny next, M0HZT. Jenny, what's going on with you? What have you been up to? Okay, very good. Well, I'm not hearing Jenny, so let's try again. I just read Ann's note down here. Yeah, Ann, we're just going down the check-in list and giving everybody a chance to tell us what they've been up to, and we're on Jenny right now. Let's see if we can get her on the horn here, or if she's got disconnected or fell asleep or something, which is possible. Let's check in with Jenny. M0HZT, if you're out there, how have you been? What you been up to? And come on in and say hello to the group if you like. M0HZT, AC4YL in the net. Okay. All right. Well, Jenny's here in spirit, I'm sure. Let's go to Dawn, WA4YL. Dawn, did you have anything you wanted to add about your trip? I know you and Chris did a bunch of stuff on your way to Huntsville. Did you want to mention anything to the group about that? Please go ahead. Anything else you want to share, Dawn? The mic is yours. WA4YL, AC4YL in the group.
This is WA4YL. If any of you travels to Huntsville, I highly recommend you taking an hour of your time to drive out to Tuscumbia and visit the birthplace of Helen Keller. $6 gets you in for the tour, and during the last weekend of June to early part of July, they reenact the play The Miracle Worker. So if you're ever in the area, go check that out. It's well worth the trip. And we also went to the Space Center in Huntsville. I rode that ride that goes up, shoots you up, and then sends you down real fast. That was a lot of fun. I was pulled out of my seat practically. That's net control.
All right. Well, awesome, Dawn. Y'all had a great time and got to see a lot of your posts up there on Facebook and photos of your trip as you went along. I'm surprised you didn't mention the distillery you went to in Tennessee. Anyway, great to hear from you, Dawn. Awesome. And let's see who's up here next. Leah had to go. She was in and then out. Brenda, KW1YL. Brenda, what's going on with you? Any updates on your antenna and wire excursions? Anything else for the group that you want to share this evening? The floor is yours. KW1YL, AC4YL in the group.
This is KW1YL. Well, first I just wanted to say to Carol that I've had trouble finding phone apps for Morse. The Morse that I just didn't work for me, and there was one called Dodit, which went off. It didn't update to go along with the new update of the phone, so I haven't been able to find one for the phone. But on the computer, I use LCWO, Learn CW Online, and I love it. I love LCWO. It's got all kinds of choices of things you can do with it, and I just love that. So anyway, as far as what's going on, there's nothing new and spectacular as far as all my projects at the Makerspace or at home. We are moving along slowly with all of that. Just making the usual progress, but nothing spectacular to report. I'd really rather talk about the things that are coming up in the future, because on Labor Day weekend, my OM and I are going to camping in Rhode Island to a music festival. And we take the car and the van, we set up the van to camp, and we drive around in the car. So, of course, I drive the car, he drives the van, and we communicate on the way there and back on Simplex on our HTs. And it's really good to be able to have the HTs to be able to do that. So that's how Ham is involved with that. And then the following weekend, we're going to the Boxborough event in Boston, and I know that I'm going to meet at least a couple of YLs that I have never met before. Most of my YL friends I've never met before, and just a couple. But if there's any others that are checking into this net that are going to Boxborough, I'd love to know it. I'll be there wearing my KW1YL hat and hanging around with my OM and some other OMs from the Yale Radio Club, but I'd love to meet the YLs. So that's it for tonight. KW1YL, back to Net Control, Catherine, AC4YL.
All right, awesome, Brenda. Well, you just got a lot of activities going. That's awesome. And I think Ann, WV1ARU, usually goes to Boxborough, and Nisi, I believe, goes as well. K1ULN usually goes. I can't recall if anybody else that's on this net currently goes, but you'll at least have a couple gals and maybe possibly a couple more there that you'll be able to see and get together with. So that's awesome. I hope you have a lot of fun attending that. Ann talks about it when it comes up every year, and one of these days we'll make it up there and check it out. So cool. Awesome, Brenda. Well, it's good to hear from you. Let's see. April, VE3BHG. What's going on with you, and how have you been, and what's new? VE3BHG, AC4YL in the group.
Okay, VE3BHG here. Well, it's been an interesting summer, aside from the heat. The last couple of weeks have been a little cooler, which has been quite the relief, because when you're not feeling well, it's hard when it's really hot out. I thought I had food poisoning, but I think it might be something different. So, because it's been dragging on, so I'm going to my doctor on Monday to find out the results of a battery of tests that I had done to see what's going on with that. And this weekend is kind of jam-packed because on Saturday we're planning on going to the Winona Peach Festival. Winona is close to Hamilton. I'm sure Carol knows about it. And the Winona Peach Festival is every year. And I like what they do because the food concessions are all run by service organizations, and the service organizations get a portion of the proceeds, or I'm not sure if it's most of the proceeds, from the sale of whatever they're vending at the event. And then, of course, there's other vendors and stuff like that, too. They have a midway, and they have all kinds of other stuff going on. So it's quite the event, and usually there's, places to park, and then you can shuttle over. And so we did that a year ago, I think, and you can buy a huge peach sundae for $5. It's like a quart container with ice cream and peaches and whipped cream, and it's absolutely awesome. There's nothing like fresh peaches at this time of the year. And and then Sunday, of course, is our church picnic. We always wait till the end of the year. They used to have it closer to the holiday weekend, but I think they figured out a lot of people go away for Labor Day. So also coming up in September on the 15th is the NPARC, which is the Niagara Peninsula Amateur Radio Club. Pause for reset. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little trouble keying back in. Okay. And on September the 15th, it'll be NPARC's 70th anniversary, and we're having an event at the Fonthill Legion, which is where our club meets once a month on Thursday night. And it's going to be, they're going to try and have a bunch of stuff going on. Hot dogs, hamburgers, that kind of thing. And just a sort of a meet and greet, so on. You know, lots of stuff that's been going on this summer, some of which I haven't been able to take in. I went to Field Day, and that was fun. Haven't really been able to take in any Hamfests or anything like that either, but hope to in the fall. And then Labor Day weekend, I've got family coming down. I've got my daughter, son-in-law, and their little guy. He's 6 months old now. And my daughter from Ottawa and her boyfriend. So it'll be fun to have everybody together. And Mandy's boyfriend, Kyle, has never been to Niagara Falls, so we're going to do that on Saturday. And also, I think my son-in-law has never been to Niagara on the lake, and it's so beautiful. On Sunday or Monday, we were hoping to take Ben in as well. So lots of stuff going on for back to school and so forth and so on. At least now it kind of feels like that with the weather. It was warm enough today to go swimming, which was nice. The water was really cold when I first got in. But, you know, it was good for me to get some exercise. So anyway, that's basically what's been happening in my neck of the woods. Hoping to get some positive results, and you know, I almost feel human, so this is actually a good thing. But anyways, so I'm going to turn it back to you, back to net control. Okay, thank you.
All right, very good, April. Well, sounds like you've got a lot going on. I hope everything goes well with the health side of things, and sounds like you got a lot of other fun activities planned. And I have to agree with you on the fresh peaches this time of year. Went up to Apple Orchard. They also grow peaches and strawberries up there as well, and they actually had some homemade peach ice cream made with peaches right there out of their orchard. And I'd never had homemade peach ice cream before, so let me tell you, that is an experience. Really enjoyed that, and it's especially good with the peach fried pie that they have also. So yeah, nothing like a good sugar rush, right? But yeah, I have to second that with you. And took some peaches home too. Man, it makes me want some more. Maybe I'll have to go back up there and make another trip. It's a lot of fun. Not to mention it's nice and up in the mountain area, so I have to agree with you there, April, and hope all goes well and you have a nice trip to Niagara Falls, and a lot of cool stuff going, so awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here with us, and it's I know it's been a little while, but it's nice to catch up, so thanks for being here this evening. Next up, I know Rosemary's having dinner, so we'll go to, I have Nisi in the log. Go see if Nisi is here with us. Nisi, is there anything you want to come in and tell us how you've been and what you've been up to? KA1ULN, AC4YL with the group. Okay, not hearing Nisi. Maybe she's having mic trouble. Let's go to Ann, W1AYL, out there in New Hampshire. Ann, how have you been? What you've been up to? And we'd love to hear from you. Catch us up. W1AYL, AC4YL with the group.
This is W1AYL, Ann. Thank you, Catherine. Not much going on here. I've been working hard at work, and I had planned last weekend on testing my new Ultimax 100 antenna. I didn't really get too far with that, so I'm hoping to try that again this Saturday. I am going to Boxborough, so I will hope to meet Brenda there. And Ann, I've already met Nisi, but I hope to be there, so I'm looking forward to that. That's really all that's going on here. This is W1AYL, back to net.
All right, very good, Ann. Well, I hope y'all have a great time in Boxborough. Sounds like there's going to be a great group up there this year. That's awesome. Hope you gals have fun and get together and have a nice little YL hoorah. All right, awesome. And speaking of Ann, let's go to the other Ann, WB1ARU. Ann, how have you been, and what's new, and what's been going on? WB1ARU, AC4YL with the group.
Okay, very good. Well, can't remember. Did I get on last week? I don't know. I've been straight out busy since we got back. My sister came in on Friday last week after she had just returned from a trip to Europe, and she just got back on Wednesday, and she flew out here on Friday. She lives in Missouri. She's also a ham. KB0DFY, but she's not on the air. Anyway, that's another story. We were working on our childhood home, trying to clean it out. It's quite an undertaking. And so I've been straight out with that all week. We went to a family reunion in Maine on Saturday, and then since then we've worked daily. She left Wednesday to go home and catch up with her life. And my kids will be back tonight, so I'll be busy again with them, but still have work to do on the house. And, of course, the garden is producing, and the flowers are growing. And I went to the fair today to participate in the zinnia contest and got a second place for 5 zinnias. And that's okay. And I get some prize money out of the whole deal, so that's kind of fun. Probably pay for the gas I spent running back and forth. And as far as net last night, I'm pleased to say that we had 2 check-ins, and the band was getting better at 9:30. So those of you that might think that 9:30 my time, which would have been do the conversion quickly here. 1:30, I guess. Anyway, the band, Linda checked in, PKY, KC8 PKY, Linda checked in. At first I could barely hear her. I must have taken tries to get her call sign, and all of a sudden, after a couple transmissions, she was loud and clear. And the other station that was in there with me last night was Victor Echo 3 HQH, Heather, from near Toronto, and she and I were like blind, and then I could hear Linda, but she and Linda couldn't hear each other, but didn't hear anybody else. Now, there may have been other YLs further west, further south that were on, I don't know. I'm hoping, but anyway, I may be late for the next week because my husband got tickets for us to go see the original South Pacific, which is showing for one day only at one of the nice theaters near us. The original. Okay. Original movie, that is. Back to net before I time out. WB1ARU.
All right, very good and awesome. Cool. Nice to know you had a couple of folks checking in and saw that picture of those zinnias you posted there on Facebook. They were very, very pretty. That's awesome. So congratulations on that win. That is cool. But yeah, you know, anytime you get a second, you can always reply to the calendar reminder email that should go to your email that you registered with groups.io, and you can also just reply there and just list who checked in. It's always glad to see that, especially for the gals that aren't able to make it on the net that might be in that group. But it's great to hear from you, Ann. Sounds like you are staying busy, and I hope you have a great time in Foxborough, too. All right, let's see. I don't know if we've... Oh, yeah, the gladioli. That's right. Yeah, great photos. So let's see. I think that's all I have on my check-in list. I can't see the list on my Echolink. So, do we have any other YLs who have not checked in or that I missed that would like to check in now? We'll go ahead and get you added to the list here. This is AC4YL.
This KJ4IHL, Kilo Juliet 4 India Hotel Lima, Marie out of Tyrone, Georgia, checking in with you, mobile.
This is KD0WAU. This is Barb from Andover.
Okay, very good. So let me just add you gals to the log here. So give me just a second here. All right, so Marie, KJ4IHL, joining us from Georgia on RF this evening. Mobile, good evening, Marie. And Barb, KD0WAU, checking in from Kansas this evening. All right, awesome. Well, not sure when you gals popped in, but what we were doing was just going down the check-in list and letting the gals catch up and tell us what activities you've been up to in ham radio and outside of ham radio, and just anything that you wanted to share with the group here. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Marie, KJ4IHL. How have you been, and what you've been up to? If you are able to come back and tell us. I know you're busy driving there, so safety first. KJ4IHL, AC4YL with the group.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I have had a very busy work week. I'm glad it's winding down, not much radio time, but I am able to run HF now, which is a real blessing, and my oldest daughter is returning home, yay, tomorrow morning from Colorado, so I'm sure I'll be tied up with her, but I'm hoping to inspire her into the hobby sooner or later. Other than that, that's about all I can report this week, and I hope everyone out there is having a great week, and I hope they have a blessed day tomorrow on a wonderful Friday. So I hope you girls are all doing good. KJ4IHL.
All right, awesome, Marie. Well, that is great. I'm sure you're excited to have her back home, and I'm not sure how long, if she's coming back for a while, but she can always join you here on the net. You can just come on and check in and then introduce her on using your call sign. That's perfectly fine as third party with you as control operator. Perfectly legal, and that way she can say hello to the group here as well. And who knows, maybe that might spark some interest. So thanks, Marie. It's good to hear from you and glad you're doing well. Barb, it's been a while. It's good to hear from you. What you been up to? KD0WAU, AC4YL in the group.
This is KD0WAU. This is Barb from Kansas. Well, been pretty busy. I do have a Tuesday night Ladies on the Air over Echolink. We have a CAN Oklahoma system that goes from Kansas to Oklahoma, tied repeaters, local repeaters, and then it's on Echolink. So we're going to be celebrating 2 years being on the net, so that's kind of exciting. If any of you ladies would like to come in, we're at on the node W0UUS-R. That's our node. It's a closed node, so you have to email me, KD0WAU@cox.net, and I'll put you on the security table. And let's see, we have the Kansas QSO party this weekend. And so my OM and I will be going to Teeter Rock, which is a ghost town. And we'll be on HF representing Greenwood County. So we do portable operations in a ghost town. That's this weekend. And last week I ventured forth, got my DMR setting up, and spoke with WWYL DMR. And that was really fun last Saturday. Michelle, you ladies know her as W5MQC. She was the chairman of the YL convention that I went to. she helped me get the DMR set up, and it was really quite exciting. She's down in Oklahoma, and I'm in Kansas. So that's what I've been up to, ladies. I'm going to send this back to Net Control, KD0WAU.
All right. Well, fantastic. Barb, it's great to hear from you. And sounds like your net's been really kicking off pretty good. That's awesome. And I remember we met up at Dayton 2 years ago, I think it was actually. You were just getting it up and going and been on growing that net, and sounds like it's been a success, and couldn't be happier for you. I think that's great. And one of these days I'll get it logged in my brain and remember to try and check in. So that's awesome, Barb. That's quite an accomplishment there. It does take a lot of work if you gals have never been a net control operator. You know, not always a walk in the park. Sometimes you just got to kind of roll with the punches, as they say. You got to work through the gremlins and keep on pushing, and you know, sometimes it's tricky keeping up with it all and trying to keep up with the check-ins and trying to keep up with what's going on with everybody and remembering call signs. But I'll tell you, on the other hand, it's great practice. So definitely encourage any of you, if you want to explore the world of net control, you know, don't hesitate. Let myself and Melanie know if you'd like to be net control of this net sometime. We'd love to give you the opportunity to do that. You don't have to be net control for the entire net if you don't want to, but it's a lot of fun and it can bring you a lot of joy, and it's been fun here doing that. So anyway, let's see if we had any other YLs that have joined us that we might have missed. If you check in, please call now. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find an email that Shirley just sent here. Having trouble with my email. All right, I'll pull it up a different way here. Anyway, this weekend, I know a couple of gals mentioned some QSO parties, and those are up and coming. And another event going on this weekend is the ALARA conference or contest. Let me see if I can grab Shirley's email real quick. VK5YL, here it is. Sent us some info about that. So if you go to, and I'll put the link in the chat too, if you go to www.alara.au/contests, plural, all the info on all their contests is there, but specifically the ALARA contest, which starts the 25th of August at 0600 hours UTC and ends Sunday 26th at 0559 UTC. It's combined phone and CW, so you can practice your CW skills. Let me see if I can get that linked in here for you gals, but that is this weekend, so you might want to get on, and they love to have gals participate in this contest, and please, if you do, don't forget to submit your logs and let them know that you played in the contest, even if you only make a few contacts. That's perfectly fine. I encourage you to do that. And speaking of contests, this past weekend was the North America QSO Party Single Sideband. We talked a little bit about that last week. So Melanie and I, for the first time, we've been traveling to Huntsville together for that Hamfest since 15 was the first time we went out there. And you know, we were talking about it. We were talking about setting up the table for YLRL and getting that going, and so we were talking about, oh, the contest is that weekend, and you know, Melanie said, well, you know, it's too bad we can't play in the contest since we're going to the Hamfest, and I said, well, why not? And pause for reset. So again, it's in 2015 when we went there to Huntsville for the first time. We decided, you know, what the heck? Well, why not? Why can't we play the contest? You know, let's figure this out. So, sure enough, that's what we did. We got some great info from some other hams and some tips on getting a portable setup going, and had a lot of help from Lori and her OM Daryl, K4UPI and K4RGK, and got to pick up some ham sticks from the candy store, and got some military poles from a military depot, and ordered a drive-on flagpole mount for tailgating. You can drive on those, and the military poles fit almost perfectly in them. You just need a little kind of a buffer, you know, for maybe a piece of rubber or something inside to fill the gap and keep the pole from moving all around and getting damaged by the metal. But it was really, really cool. We had a lot of fun doing that. And we just unfortunately didn't actually get to participate that year. So 16 we tried again and didn't really get to play then, and I think 17 we tried, I think, maybe, and ran into some issues with the antenna or something, and so we didn't get to make any contacts last year. So this year was the first year we actually got to get out there and get on the air. And we used the Military 2.0 antenna system from Alpha Antenna that we picked up in Orlando when we were down there, and got to set that up outside the hotel. There's a nice picnic table and bench area, so we actually set that up. Unfortunately, we were still hauling around a car battery for power, so our goal next year is to get on when in Huntsville and already have our battery pack, and the new Kenwood radio just picked up this weekend, so lots of good times. Okay, so so we got on the air this past weekend, and it was kind of funny because we made some good cues, and one of the guys that we worked up in Maryland, we were on 40. We were on 40, and he's like, "Hey, do you have 80 meters?" Because of course we're in Alabama, not in Georgia, so that's the exchanger location. And we said, actually, we do. And of course, we kept our fingers crossed that all would be well on 80, because we hadn't been on 80 yet during that contest, so we were hoping that all would go well. And sure enough, by the time we got tuned right on over to 80 meters and on the frequency asked us to go to, he was already right there calling out our call sign, so that was awesome. Worked him first time. He was clear as a bell, and so it was a lot of fun on this amazing whip antenna, vertical HF whip antenna. I mean, you know, it's an amazing system. So check it out, explore it. There's a lot of cool antennas out there, but that's definitely one that's just phenomenal. So yeah, it's the Alpha Easy Military 2.0 antenna system. It's really cool. It comes with a small tripod, and you can get an optional tripod, and then you've got the match system. It's amazing. But everything fits in this really nice bag that's also optional. It all fits in this really nice bag. Light, portable, very portable. So check it out. It's awesome. It's a lot of cool antennas. That's definitely one of them. Easy Military 2.0 from Alpha Antenna. Check it out. Barb reminds everybody, I think somebody wanted some additional detail on the net. Ladies on the air on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 9 Eastern. Just be sure and email her your call sign if you want to use the Echolink node to join the net, so that she can make sure she can grant your call sign access. The Echolink node is W0UUS-R. And you can email Barb at KD0WAU@Cox, that's COX.net. Okay, very cool. All right, well, gals, what else has been going on? Does anybody have any additional comments or announcements or news or updates for the group here? Please come on in and, bring it up to the group. If you have any ham radio related questions, anything, please go ahead and ask. Before I forget, 2 other additional programs. Carol brought up apps. Morse, that's one, and then Morse Mentor is another one. Let's see, yeah, text to Morse, so it's text, the word text, the number 2, and then Morse, all one word. That's one mobile app, and then one that I have on my phone that I haven't played with much is Morse Mentor, and I had another one, and I can't remember the name of it because it was on another phone I had that I don't think I ever put on this one. I'll see if I can find it, maybe before next week's net, we'll see. But those are 2 more Morse code apps you can put on your phone. Morse Mentor is Android. I don't know if there's one for iOS. Just do a search in the App Store and see if there's one in there called Morse Mentor, and see if you can find that one, and text to Morse. Okay, anybody have any comments, questions, announcements, news, or ham radio topics you'd like to bring up to the net this evening? Please call now, AC4YL.
This is WA4YL. I did want to talk about the Jack Daniels Distillery. It was a very interesting tour. They took you through and showed you how the whiskey was made. And when they opened the vat, I thought I was going to get drunk on the smell.
That's awesome, Dawn. Yeah, I think you guys had a great time on your trek there, and I think Joe went with you guys there too. I'm not sure.
Joe and Joe both went with me and Chris, and we had to climb all these stairs, and they showed us a video on the history of the distillery. Then they took us upstairs to the factory where they bottle it, and it gets shipped all over the world.
Well, that's pretty cool there, Dawn. I'm glad you guys had a great time, and that Jill and Joe were able to join you. That makes it even more fun when there's more company. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Anybody else have anything for the group tonight? Please call now, AC4YL. Okay. Not hearing anyone. Of course, some of you may be aware there's a 16-strong YL team that's going to be active from Noirmoutier Island, EU 064 as TM64YL during August 25th to the 31st. So from this Saturday through the end of the month. They'll be on HF bands, so I'm sure they will be spotting themselves and other people will be spotting them as well. You can pull them up on TM64YL. It lists all the YLs that will be a part of that that group there. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, lots of cool stuff there. I'm just pulling up their QRZ page. So check it out. There's a lot of good info in there. Telling you about the group. So look out for them on the air. TM64YL. It's coming up here starting on Saturday. So awesome. Thought I'd share that with the group. You may have seen the post on the YLOpNet Facebook group, and again, encourage you to post there pictures, news, updates, questions, post all of that good stuff there. Rhea just happened to mention there as well that there are 3 women running for director seats in ARRL right now. So that's kind of cool. It's over there on the YLOpNet. She's got a link to information on that if that interests you as well, just for informational. And that's cool. All right. Let's see. Anybody else have something for the group?
AG4YL.
Please go ahead, Melanie.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies. I'm suffering from a head cold. I guess you could call it a summer cold, so yikes. But I did want to let everybody know that in addition to the there's some QSO parties. I don't know if they've been mentioned or not, but I thought I'd go ahead and throw it out there. Hawaii is often the hardest state to get worked all states. The Hawaii QSO party is this weekend, so that might be well worth checking into. There's also a QRP, a Ready Sprint, a CW Sprint Ladder, of course the ALARA contest, the Islands QSO party. It's for U.S. and Canada Islands QSO party, the Kansas QSO party, the Ohio QSO party, and the SARL HFCW contest are just a few of the other things that are coming up this CWT, CW test, and phone freight are scheduled for August 29th. So just thought I'd throw them in there, especially if you need Hawaii. I have yet to get LOTW confirmation of Hawaii. Waiting for some QSL cards to come back. I've made 4 contacts to Hawaii, and none of them are on LOTW. So, and I have no cards for them, so I'm unable to make my WAS, even though I made these contacts coming on 2 years now, I believe. So, just wanted to throw that out there for you. Hawaii, Ohio, and Kansas. You ladies need those on whatever motor band. I'm certain they'll be all over the place for those QSO parties. And that's all for me. This is AG4YL. Send this back to AC4YL and the group.
All right, fantastic, Melanie. Well, thanks for that info. It's always good to know when the QSO parties are going on, especially for those of you that are chasing work to all states. And Hawaii does seem to be a rather difficult one to get at times, for sure. And even when you get them, then trying to work somebody that also uploads to LOTW or will send you a QSL card, that's the second piece of the challenge. But yeah, your best shot is usually when the QSO parties are happening, because that's when typically more people from that area are on at the same time, so that's cool. Another bit of news interest for those of you that might not be aware or may not have seen anything yet, There's the WWV and WWVH are on a list of proposed cuts in the White House National Institute of Standards and Technology fiscal year 2019 budget request. So a lot of hands are concerned about that because we depend on those for the clock signal. It includes the atomic clock signal from WWVB. The WWV is among the oldest radio stations in the U.S. and has broadcast the official time for nearly a century. So there's a lot of folks that are really concerned about it. There's some petition going around to sign to try and keep that alive, or contact your member of Congress and explain how it's important to you, if it's a concern to you. And just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. You can find information about that on ARRL's website in the news section, as well as the oral letter that gets sent out if you're an ARRL member and subscribe to that. Last week, Nisi brought up the FT8 call, which was the new program. We were talking about FT8, and she and Melanie had a good QSO going on about that when Nisi brought it up, and we were trying to find the link for that. That is actually in, hold on, let me pause for a reset here. Okay, the link to that is in the this month's contest letter from the ARRL. There's a link for it. Again, it's called FT8 Call. It's a new program that builds on WSJTX using FT8 signaling to support freeform chat-style contacts instead of just your standard formatted QSO. You can actually be closer to having a conversation as part of a QSO. So FT8 Call is out, and again, the link to that is in the contest letter for this month. So check it out, and I'm sure you might be able to hunt around ARRL's website if you don't subscribe to that, and find some info on that. Okay, so just glancing down at the contest letter too, back to the WWV and WWVH HF broadcast defunding discussions going on. Again, if that is a concern to you, they say it's most impactful way to express your concerns is to contact your congressional representatives, because Congress is who approves the spending and the budget. So if it's of concern to you, please reach out and make your concerns known regarding that. I think it's really cool. The HF broadcasts are there, and there's actually also a phone number that you can call to get the local time too, which is kind of neat. Ties right into the WWV and the atomic clock there. So, all right, with that, does anybody else have anything for the group here that you wanted to share, maybe you thought of while we were in discussion? Please come on in and tell us about it, or if you haven't checked in yet and you would like to do so, and you're a YL, we'd love to hear from you. AC4YL here. Okay, not hearing anyone, so with that, I don't have anything else for the net this evening, and we are about at that time anyway, but do encourage you to please come back here if you like, in about an hour and 5 minutes for the MinnoNet right here on the Echolink ALARA conference node. You can join Margaret, AE7MB, and the YLs, the Minnows there, and they'd love to hear you check in with them and support that net as well if you like. Again, that's about in an hour and 5 minutes. Please, again, don't forget to post to our YLUpNet Facebook group. You can continue net topics and questions in between weekly nets. Also encourage you to participate and post all ham-related questions, adventures, and anything else ham radio related in the WildOpsGroups.io page. We'd like to take a moment and thank Lauren, KC9ZHV, for live streaming and recording this net whenever possible and making it available to all through YouTube. I know she's been working very hard to perfect her recording system there, and we certainly wanted to express our appreciation to her for all her hard work in doing that. We'd also like to thank ALARA for the use of this Echolink conference node, the North Fulton Amateur Radio League for their drop-in chat room, and all who are linked and listening, YLs and OMs alike, for your ongoing support of this net. This is Catherine, AAC4YL, closing out the YL OpNet and returning the ALARA conference node. Oh, hold on, stand by just a minute. I think Melanie has a comment. Stand by one moment.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the last minute. I noticed we still had about 5 minutes of the net, so I thought I'd throw this in that I found again on the contest letter. There's an operating tip in here, and with all the contests we've been talking about coming up this weekend, I thought this might be relevant. And I love it when I find little, helpful hints and tips, and I really like to share them because one of the things that I like about this hobby is that, the neat thing about it for me is constantly refining and, trying to achieve a personal best. It's not a competition in a sense of a competition against other people so much as it is just trying to get better and more effective as an amateur radio operator, regardless of what you're into. This particular tip is for contesting. It says have a contest checklist and use it. Pilots use them, surgeons use them, you should too. Contest checklists can improve your contest scores by providing a constant process to preparing for competition. And N3FJP, who writes some great logging programs, he publishes a checklist that's helpful no matter what contest program you're using. So you don't have to use his program to use this list. The nice thing about Scott is that he just wants people to get on the air and to have a good time. He loves the hobby, and he loves getting people into the hobby. That's why he started doing such fine logging programs. He really just wanted to get and having fun. And so he publishes something, and he encourages you to build on this checklist. So it's not like the do-all, end-all kind of checklist. But the website, I'm going to try to find it here. Of course, it's on N3FJP, and it's called the Pre-Contest Checklist. And it's not miles and miles long. There's just 14 points on it. It does come from his website, n3fjp.com. As far as getting in-depth into let me get the address for you. Here it is. It's November 3, Foxtrot Juliet Papa.com, n3fjp.com. Stroke, help, stroke, contest checklist, .html. n3fjp.com, stroke, help, stroke, contest checklist, .html. It's just simple, but I think it's kind of cool. I just wanted to share that before the end of the net, and that just stayed up 3 more minutes, so there we are. I'll send this back to Catherine, AC4YL, unless there's anybody out there, any other YLs out there that would like to comment on anything we've discussed, or would like to comment on contesting or the upcoming contest, or having a checklist, or if they use a checklist. Please call now. This is AG4YL and the net.
Okay, awesome. Not hearing anyone else, but it's great. Thanks for the last-minute tip there, Melanie. That contest letter is awesome. It's got a lot of good information. If you're an ARRL member and you don't subscribe to that, we're always finding some cool stuff in there. So encourage you to do that. You can just log into your ARRL account and go to your subscriptions under My Account and pull that, check your subscriptions list and sign up for that if you don't get it. Jam-packed with information. There's even stuff for new hams. If you're a new ham radio operator, what can you do now? And it gives some good tips and advice on what's coming up this weekend and encourage you and introduce you to that. So that's awesome. So thanks, Melanie, for that last tip. And with that, we'll go ahead and close it out. This is Catherine, AC4YL, closing out the YL OpNet, returning the ALARA conference node back to normal use. 33 ladies, we will see you next. Take care, everybody.